Hey brother, what are you doing?
Oh, still breathing.
That's a lot this day and time, huh?
It is. It's like, well, there's all them people who remember who I was, the kind of person I am, that, they just didn't speak up. And then there was all the people that were trying to keep me on a Facebook ban after Natalie died. Kept me from getting a hold of people when it made a difference or could have made a difference. So I'm struggling now. I've been through 4 years of police abuse over Natalie dying, and they found the guy who killed her.
Thank God.
Well, the problem is that law enforcement screwed up real big, and they're trying to cover up their crimes by pretending I'm schizophrenic.
Huh. A lot of shit got weird out there near Boulder.
Man, I haven't been to Boulder. Like, in the last 5 or 6 years, I've been to
Oh,
Boulder three
you
times.
so you weren't there through the COVID thing?
Nope.
Where were you at during like when COVID first hit? It was like a couple years ago now.
I was in Chapel, Nebraska, where I'm at now.
Yeah, so you probably didn't see a lot of this stuff. You saw right before when everything got really bad right before it came to a head.
No, I didn't get to see hardly anything. I hurt my back in 2015 on my birthday. My birthday is October 18th, so I just had a birthday a few days ago.
Oh, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. But
Belated birthday.
I'm having a lot of problems because there's a lot of people that said that they'd speak up. I'm allowed to have character witnesses, but they didn't allow it. They didn't allow me to face my accusers. They didn't allow me to show evidence. They didn't allow nothing. They called me mentally ill, loosely translated it as schizophrenic, and went to town at me.
Uh, where did that happen?
Multiple states actually. Natalie was killed in Colorado, but I thought she
Where
was in
about?
Virginia at the time. She was killed at McIntosh Dairy outside of Thornton, Colorado.
Hmm.
Actually, I can send you a link.
It's
Um,
between Denver and Boulder.
yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just lost my car there. It broke down. I got stuck there 3 months, and the shit I saw there going on was just too much for my brain.
The meth or the heroin.
Not even, dude. They carried it somehow. They got from the streets into the houses, I guess, and apartments. I guess the gangs when they came in, like the street gangs, networked with a lot of the drug addicts. It seems like during Corona that somehow they managed to kind of take over the town, so to speak. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if they found places to live, or if they're using the college girls as a bridge to being able to like house up and sell drugs. But I just saw a lot of bad stuff going on, and it's not in the streets anymore. So, what I think is during when COVID hit, um, like a wave of crime maybe went through, and between when everybody got the checks, I think maybe people bought a lot of drugs or something, or the gangs utilized that while they were in hotels from the street level to link up into their neighborhood connections, and somehow got everyone off the streets housed up, probably doing way worse shit because now it's not in the public's eye. So
Well,
it seemed like a lot of the girls up there were being sex trafficked, like from the college, like like just a
I've been
lot of
speaking
stuff,
out
dude.
about that, but nobody listens to me because they
No,
called
they
me
don't.
mentally ill. But I know my shit.
See, they tried to put me in a mental hospital while I was there in Boulder, and I think it's because they know that I've been coming through there a long time. So either someone in the system tried to bully me out of town, they put me in a mental hospital for like a day in the hospital and did an observation on me, and then they gave me a felony trespassing because I was kind of like reconning the college and just hanging out. And they gave me a felony trespass, and now I got a warrant there. So it's almost like they tried to like shoot me out of town. But The thing is, with what's going on there, I don't even know why they're worried about some street kid like just passing through with the shit I saw going on. And I feel a lot of it is organized. But another thing is, I think the gangs managed to get into a lot of the family up there, up on the hill, and somehow they networked into the mountains, and that's where Boulder kind of fell in between. Somehow they got up on the hill, because I heard like weird conversations that the gang members were having about like even killing Grateful Dead family and shit. Just like, out of the corner of my ear, just like barely hear that shit.
Well,
And I thought it sounded like they were saying there were some people being held up on the hill, like families and all, maybe probably because they're Reaper or something like that. They're Grows, and somehow maybe they networked back up onto Ned, and then as a result, because it was weird too, man. There were kids up on the hill talking about shooting people and shit, like just like street gangster wannabe hippies or pretend to be hippie type folk. I can't even explain it, dude.
yeah, I
It's
know a
just
few of them.
it's a whole thing going on there. But the way they had that hill locked in is almost like they thought I was a cop and they were threatening me in a roundabout way up on the hill. But I think enough people knew me there that are like, dude, that's Polar Bear. You're pretty much out of gas because that kid knows a lot of people out here. So no one really screwed with me, but the police kind of did, and the gangs were kind of like on the outskirts of my situation, kind of trying to bully me and shit because I guess they thought I was a passer through or something because I looked so much different when I was traveling. But I lost everything there, dude. They robbed everything from my car. It broke down, ended up with that warrant there, and I finally got out of there. But I felt like I was being held hostage in the area, literally, because they kept stealing shit from me. And I'm not used to people doing that there.
Yep.
Stealing shit left and right. Like, I mean, it's almost like there's a pack of them there and they're just preying on people working together. It was very fucking weird, dude. I didn't like the vibe. But also, Asheville had been going down years ago, and then Olympia, probably 3 years ago, right before COVID, dude, it was so bad in Olympia. I mean,
I was in Olympia
so
3 years
bad.
ago.
Well, then you probably saw that right before COVID.
Dude,
I mean,
I
there
know
were,
all about the
dude,
prostitution up there. I know all about. See,
yes,
they've
see,
had that
and these
heroin
fucking
issue there
police,
since
yep, these
'93.
fucking police think, you know, eventually something's going to give to where they tie these ports, sex trafficking, to the goddamn police departments and the goddamn gangs in the community, whether it be a biker gang or a fucking street gang like the Crips or something like that, or a fucking cartel people. But what they don't realize is they have a network and it spans into all the major cities, especially where the kids had frequent, where there was a lot of street girls. And between COVID and those last 3 years, a lot of girls got snatched and swept under the rug.
Yep.
And now the cops almost think they got the areas. Like, in other words, they don't go after the people who are really doing shit in a town, which tells me, okay, number one, but number two, you're not fucking with them. So you're either comfortable with it and just letting it go, or you're a part of it. There's no
They
if
look
and
for
ands.
homeless people in specific because they're easy to scapegoat.
Yes. You see what I'm saying? They've been trying to do that, but I think finally things are catching up, and hopefully the feds will get off my ass and go do some real fucking work.
Well, here's the
But then
thing.
again, a lot of them, it's probably their buddies that are connected to the streets doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? So,
You know some of the crooked cops there. I've got recordings with people that are witnesses to a lot of the situation down there, that are aware of the situation with the human trafficking. They're aware that the police are involved in it. And one thing
good.
that most people don't realize is that Denver is dead center in the middle of the United States. Every
Yeah,
road
it's a
goes to
hub.
Denver.
It's a
So,
hub.
like, when they've got people who are being trafficked from Texas, they're trafficked through Denver. When they're trafficked from Oregon, they're trafficked through Denver. When they're trafficked to New York City, they're trafficked through Denver. When they're trafficked to South Dakota, they're trafficked through Denver. Right now, there's a big situation with the I-90 going all the way up through Wyoming from Colorado, and there's a lot of people who are disappearing along there. A lot of missing Native American women, a lot of You know, Gabby Petito was
So
not the first situation.
infrastructurally, they think it's like people with drug habits on the streets from a broader spectrum of the police. They think it's all this is the crime going on here, low level
No, no,
bullshit.
it's not.
They don't realize that no, these motherfuckers tied to the port cities, they're goddamn buddy buddy. But the problem is the people who are working law enforcement think the shit don't stink of the people that are involved, so they're never even gonna want to look at it. You understand what I'm saying? These are people they play golf with, fucking go to their goddamn resorts, their fucking police association bullshit. So I mean, honestly, it'll eventually come to a head for them. I think once they're able to pinpoint one major city, they'll be able to connect all facets. Just because they have enough technology
They're
that they
not going
haven't
to.
corrected
They
it.
don't care about the technology.
Yeah,
That's the
well,
thing, is that in my situation, the technology that they have, the recordings that they had, would have set me free and would have locked up several police officers. They did everything they
yeah,
could to hide that. You
yeah.
remember
They tried to
Jayhawk?
make me out to look like I was crazy there, dude. They
Dude,
literally did.
they injected me with a shit ton of drugs and assaulted the
See,
fuck
they
out of
did
me
that to me too,
repeatedly.
and I called my mama. I'm like, Mama, they're fixing to shoot me up with stuff, and she's like, it'll be all right. But you know, I wanted my mom to at least hear in case something happened. Like I really felt that sketched out about the group that kind of commandeered me, but also the one of the main sheriffs. He's like, I know how you like to break in places to get warm, and you know, just trying to like in front of the female officers that were there, make me out to look like the worst person ever. I'm like, dude, I just worked 7 years. You know how many damn people I've worked with? No, I'm not crazy, and no, I'm not a criminal, and no, all I do is work, and I'm a good kid. So it was weird how he kept trying to like impose in front of other officers this view of me. So when they see me around town, they discredit me or think low of me or can like maybe pin
Who
me
were
on
the
a crime.
officers?
I can't remember his name. He's a older fella. God, I wish I could retain their name, but they ran me through it several
French?
times. I don't know. He's a white guy, a little older, kind of probably 6 foot somewhere in there. I don't know, man. I can't even explain it. But also the hill, the stores in there, like the 7-Eleven. Like
Yep.
there was this Mexican lady that worked in there, and it seemed like her and her cartel kind of commandeered the fucking store. The bitch ended up spraying me in the face with like chemicals because I went in there one morning. I think because maybe I was ping-ponging between the police and the organized crime, and they thought maybe I was a cop, and then the cops probably thought I was part of the organized crime. So, like, between them, they were ping-ponging and treating me like shit. Got sprayed in the face with some kind of chemical. She didn't even spray me with mace, dude. I walk in the store and she sprayed me with chemicals in the eye. Like
Boulder got nasty. Boulder
Oh,
got real nasty.
It's really bad there right now, dude. No, it's not. I was just there, dude, like 8 months ago. It's probably still that bad. But the biggest thing is they are sex trafficking the rich people in the area from Thornton and all these areas, people well-to-do, are using those girls as a sex machine, basically, at their will, down there at the college.
Jayhawk,
you can see the girls getting picked up in cars by random men
Jayhawk
constantly. I'm
knows
like,
who some of the police are who are involved in the human trafficking in Boulder, and that's one of the big things, is trying to get people like him to speak up. I mean, a lot of people know about the murders that have been happening. A lot of people know about the sex trafficking. A lot of people know which officers are involved. The problem is that I'm the only one who's not too much of a coward to speak up publicly.
well, I'm glad you said it on this phone because I know my phone's hopefully still, if the feds are going to be on my ass thinking I'm a drug dealer, well, stay on my fucking ass and hear this conversation. Put that shit in your goddamn system, motherfuckers. Because, dude, they have been harassing me out the ass, all these goddamn police, for years, and these motherfuckers are corrupt, and they don't believe people set people up, and they don't believe that they're networked through the goddamn gangs, and that they know who I am, and they've been fucking on top of me and putting fake fucking charges and harassing me and doing shit to me because I've been very close to fucking being able to basically put a finger on all those motherfuckers.
Well, you worked with the homeless. You worked very closely with the homeless, just like I did. I'm not sure if you
Yes.
remember Sage and Ogre.
See, I'm glad you said that on here because a lot of people think I'm loopy, and I know how much love I've put in those streets. So thank you, brother. Thank you for and seeing that through the years, because a lot of people thought I just drifted. They didn't realize I was being a fucking babysitter the whole time.
And see, that's the thing. Like, when you were talking about all those girls that are down there and all the drugs and stuff, like, a lot of those girls, the whole situation that I had with them was trying to run them off, trying to get them away from the people who were selling the heroines and selling the meth. But it turned out that Natalie Bollinger and her twin sister Alicia were two of the dealers. They were selling heroin and meth at
Yeah.
13 years old.
So it was a lot of the girls had been kind of grandfathered into it young, and then basically were in the middle of being like kids hemmed up between the adults doing this shit. The
Yep.
big thing people don't realize is a lot of those police have ties with a lot of the biker gangs in that area.
And
Once you get
see,
up to
that's
Olympia, it's with the biker gangs that are tied to the military bikers that are tied to the street, the Crips and Bloods coming out of Tacoma. Even
yep.
Seattle doesn't have as huge as a presence as Tacoma. So
See,
Tacoma's what's
that's where I went in specific. See, I went to school at a minority high school. Tacoma, Washington, Lincoln High School is 81% minorities. So, like, that's where I lived when I lived up there. It was between there and Seattle. And, like, 1993 is when all the heroin came through and it never left. There's a lot of women out there that are prostitutes. There's a lot
the
of homeless
problem too.
people
Hey,
that
do you remember? Have you been to Olympia quite a bit, or are you familiar with Olympia?
are. I've been there twice in my life. One of them was about
So
2 or 3
you don't
years
know.
ago.
See, there's natives tied in, native tribe gangsters tied in also there. Native Nate is a huge fucking name, but no one seems to they're either letting him roll because he's maybe so loose he's giving information, don't even know it. But
Oh, you mean a dry snitch?
no, his name's Native Nate. He's in Olympia.
Yeah.
He posts pictures all the time of girls on there. He takes pictures with like friend pictures, but I'm pretty sure he's basically showing the girls off for being sold. But anyway, dude, I got to get on the Greyhound. I'll catch up with you. I'm literally getting on it now. I got to get my ticket off my phone. I'll catch up with you soon, man, and we'll talk about all this, and I'll check on you actually in the next conversation. I got to go, brother. Love
All right,
you.
be safe. Bye.
Later.
Whew. Well, that was my friend Polar Bear. There was a lot of us back in the day who worked together to try to keep it clean, and God, the police, they destroyed all the progress that we made. Now, there's a lot of people that I recorded. There's enough people to put a lot of these officers behind bars. There's enough people who know what's going on that we can actually change the laws. We can show how ineffective they are and how crooked law enforcement has been twisting and manipulating it in order to get away with the crimes that they've been committing. I told him I'd send him some stuff, and I plan on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to shut off this video and send it now.